How's it going, everybody? I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Before I begin, I want to say thank you to each and every single one of you for helping to support this channel. It really means a lot. The channel does grow each and every single day because of all of you. If you like what you see and you enjoy the content, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe, smash that like button, comment in the comment section below, hit the bell to receive notifications, and also check out my eBay store, the Carolina Collector 001. The link is in the description of each and every single video and short that I upload here on YouTube. I actually did list a couple personal slabs over at my eBay store that are PSA 10s, and I believe there's one SGC 10, the Spencer Jones, a Jackson Holiday, and a couple others. I think there's a CJ Stroud and a Puka Nacua up there. So I do got a bunch of autos I'm going to start putting out and all that sort of thing. So thank you for your continued support of myself, each other, the hobbies, the various different hobbies that are out there, in particular sports cards. And, well, let's just hop right into this, because if you can't tell, I'm actually angry, annoyed, and frustrated. I wish this was a different kind of drink. And you know which one I'm thinking of, gentlemen and ladies out there. Cheers, everybody, as Google Foods would say. As you can hear outside my door, it's a beautiful spring day here in God's country. And I really, I hate the post office. I'm an eBay seller. Many of you have been my customers over the past, few months since I started this little shindig, right? And when somebody tries, it's like some yo-yo, some random nobody that you meet out in the street, let's just say, for a hypothetical situation. Let's just say I ask that person, can you tell me what's inside my clothing closet? Nobody knows the answer to that except for me. How much money do I have in my bank account? Nobody knows that except for me. How many pairs of sneakers do I have? Nobody knows that except for me. In other words, people wanting to see what they want to see, people wanting to hear what they want to hear. I just got back from the big post office out in Valentine, where I live here. And I'm plenty pissed because I'm trying to fight for one of my eBay customers who ordered an Ellie De La Cruz X-Fractor. I just want to make sure I don't dox them or anything like that. I don't even want to show this on camera because it's got tracking numbers and things like that, so I want to protect my customer. But it's a 2024 Topps Chrome Series 1 baseball number 44 Ellie De La Cruz rookie card X-Fractor. So it sold for $14.07. I think that's the combined cost with shipping, if I'm not mistaken, or minus all the fees and what have you. So because it's under $20, eBay's standard envelope eligible items for up to $20. So the customer ended up paying 69 cents for shipping for this card because it came underneath that $20 mark, right? So I called up USPS because the customer, and rightfully so, because I would probably do the same thing, like, what the hell? As a matter of fact, the date sold and payment sold was on the same day, on May 17th, 2025. And this eBayer is much bigger than I am, but they're a lot more professional than the most recent idiot, who of course engaged in feedback extortion, claiming I had a bad attitude because I didn't bow to their whims. And of course left me another negative feedback on my account. Well, he's got a bad attitude. No, the person behind that account who simply can't wait for a while. I just shipped out a whole bunch of cards. As a matter of fact, I got a story about that for this video, as a matter of fact. I just shipped out a whole batch of cards. It's called waiting. You gotta wait for a while. Ugh. So anyway, the person refused to wait, and of course it was, $1.89 or something like that. But that's still $1.89 that comes out of my pocket that I have to refund this person for. It's so effing dumb. Now this person's going to end up with a free baseball card. I don't get the vibe that this other customer is particularly doing that. They are a very big or decent sized eBayer. They got over 4,000 feedbacks. So, they're in the upper echelons there of eBayers. I mean, I've got over 1,200 items sold with 1,200 feedbacks or something like that. Not saying that I'm anything bigger on eBay, but I think I've made my impression known, or my reputation known. And a lot of you have bought cards off me, and your cards have arrived, in a decent amount of time. Some have been delayed. Some of it, admittedly is my fault. And I'll immediately take to YouTube. If I get sick, if I have personal issues, whatever it is, if my car breaks down, I will immediately run to eBay. Not to eBay, to YouTube here, excuse me. Well, I do actually message people on eBay, so that's kind of true. But anyway, I need to calm down here a little bit because this is so annoying. Let's refer back to what I just said. Nobody knows what's inside my closet except for me. Nobody knows what's inside my refrigerator except for me. I'm not going to have somebody tell me how my eBay account goes. All right, as an eBayer, after a certain time, if not for all eBayers, you get shipping discounts. That's why I'm able to offer such low shipping to all of you, because if I didn't, let's just say I don't have any of the boxes around me. If I were to ship an envelope that's like this big, it should cost no more than $6 to $7 to ship. And unlike the post office, and I hope USPS is listening, you old school, I'm trying not to swear. Oh, you have no idea how I'm trying to self-center, excuse me. This is a modern day digital scale, and this is what I use to weigh all my envelopes and all my packages. So when it comes to a card under $20, according to eBay, this envelope, which is an armalope, you'll be familiar with these. 7 by 5 by 1. Here is, and I think I've showed this on camera already, the template that I use to size up all of my envelopes. It may be a little dusty, but here's the slot. If it fits to the slot, if it fits, it ships, right? So this costs 69 cents. Again, forgive me because I'm aggravated, folks. That's a fact, according to eBay. Now, as it goes up in weight to the next ounce, which would be 2 ounces, I believe it would be 97 cents. 3 ounces would be $1.25, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's automated by eBay. I have no control over that unless I outright charge whatever it is that I would charge. I was charging $1.29, but I was able to get it down to 69 cents as long as the item or the card is under $20. Facts! Facts matter, USPS. And she's trying to tell me that, oh, well, this is how it is. The scale, when you look at it, first off, this thing has to be about 20 or 30 years old. It's got stickers on it. Who knows when this thing was calibrated last? This is digital. As soon as you turn it on and you leave it on a nice flat surface like I do, it reads ounces, pounds and ounces, or it could read in grams and all sorts of stuff. And she's telling me, no, the card, because I had 3 cards that I processed last night, 3 orders I had, right? And she's trying to tell me, well, these envelopes are rigid. And I'm like, well, they're 7 by 5 by 1, under 1 ounce. They're less than 1/4 of an inch, 69 cents. That's what they are, according to my eBay discount. No. And she's arguing with me. I know. And I'm like, I can show you how this works. I can actually post a phantom order for you, and I'll go through the motions, and you'll see how eBay does everything automatically. Everything is automated through them. That is a fact when you're an eBay seller like myself. No. She wanted to upcharge me $1 per envelope. Oh, it's not going to go through the machine. Are the post office, are they really that gung-ho and that bankrupt and losing that much money that really they're going to nickel and dime people? Don't tell me how eBay works. I'm an eBayer. I should know. I don't know anything about what she does in her back end. I'm sure she's a nice lady. And I kind of just yesed her to death at a certain point in our conversation because I knew it was a losing battle. You can't argue with a fucking tree stub. Or a tree stump, excuse me. Again, I'm angry at this thing because I'm going to lose $15. $15 is $15. Any amount of financial loss is a loss. But I am, because like I said, given the reputation of this particular eBayer in this order, I am going to fight this. And once I upload this video, I'm going to go on my computer there and go through the motions and see what I can do. But it's just aggravating that how are you going to tell me how eBay runs when I am the eBayer? She didn't want to hear it. Well, it's this and that. The big scale that she's got in front of her, you got to see this thing. It looks like something out of the old CBGBs in New York City. Have any of you been to CBGBs, or any of you old enough to remember what CBGBs was? Past tense. Stickers all over the place and slime and grime and probably multiple layers of paint over the years when it was open before, downtown Manhattan was gentrified for all of these type of people and all their coffee shops and lattes. But That's what that scale looks like. Look at mine. Even though it may be a little dusty and a little dirty from sitting up there, but this is a modern digital scale. Get them, post office. This one only cost me what, 20 bucks, 30 bucks over at my local Walmart? How effing hard is this? And again, I can calibrate that to anything. I think over the course of, what, 1,200 feedbacks, over 1,000 items sold, that I think I've only had one or two of my customers upcharge maybe once or twice throughout my entire career as an eBayer. And of course, I refund, the nickels and dimes or all that, or offer them a future discount or whatever it is. My customers, I think, are pretty reasonable, except for a handful of jackasses that are out there. Like Dickhead that left me a 6 negative feedback because they couldn't wait. Fucking wait. Excuse my language here, but I have to be honest. I have to speak the way that I know how to speak. Fucking wait. But this person, I appreciate their patience. This person I will go to bat for, and I will try to track down this card. But as a result of this, unfortunately, I do not want to take any more chances using eBay's stupid shipping under $20, because now it may cost me money. Let me tell you, those nickels and dimes, they add up over time and will eventually cost me money. So for now on, if you order cards off me and if you are an eBay customer, expect all of your orders to go first class. I will not use that eBay shipping under $20 nonsense anymore. Neither should you. But I find the whole thing absolutely ridiculous. I watched this lady rip off this old woman. I guarantee if I were to go on my computer right here, on my living room TV, right? I guarantee I could have shipped that same envelope for about $2 or $3 cheaper. But this is what eBay, what the post office does. And now I got to find an order that's floating around in the post office ether, and she's like she's feeling the envelope. Well, it's this, it's that. Dumbass. Template. See that? It's got a ruler built on it. I can measure it. I actually have, look at that. Another ruler, or a stick ruler as we call it in plumbing. You never call this a ruler. It's a stick rule in the trades. There's a regular ruler. I got multiple ways to measure shit. I even have a tape measure there in my goddamn Charlie Weld closet where I have my tools. Don't tell me how eBay works. I've been doing this for a little bit now. I think I've built up enough experience to know what I'm talking about. And once I pulled out my phone and I started posting a phantom card to show her how this works, she didn't want to hear it. Because they must be broke. I feel sorry for the post office in the direction that they're heading. If Orange Man out there in the White House doesn't do something about these people, like I said, I watched her rip off this old lady that had an envelope that's no bigger than this foam pad that I use for the photography of my cards for my eBay store. I guarantee if that old lady would, I probably wouldn't even have charged her. I said, ma'am, I'll pack the envelope for you. I guarantee I could ship that for about $4 or $5. Nickel and diming is now the modus operandi of the post office. And then you couple that on top of an unreliable system that eBay uses through the post office to ship this stuff. I can't trust this anymore. So as a result, if you're customers of mine and you buy singles off of me, like this one, for example, I'm going to have to start charging first class rates because I cannot afford or take a risk that any more cards get lost because of this. How are you going to tell me? I don't tell people what to do with their jobs. I really try to be civilized, and I hate to say it. I don't like making false apologies, but I had to make a false apology to this woman and basically yes her to death because I could see there was no winning. I think I've built up enough experience throughout my plumbing career when I was working and doing this stuff on eBay when it's impossible to get people to listen to reason. And I made videos about this, even about my personal life. People choose to see what they want to see. They choose to hear what they want to hear. And they simply don't listen to reason, especially when the thing is in front of your face. This is a pair of sunglasses. This is Scotch tape. This is a stapler. How goddamn hard is this? And I started to show her, this is how it works. Everything is automated. I get eBay discounts for shipping and all that stuff. That's a fact. For example, if any of you here's one of the slabs I'm selling. If I were to ship this is a CJ Stroud 2023 Prism Draft Picks, right? Gold Ice Parallel. All right. If I were to ship this in one of my boxes after it was weighed on my scale and measured properly, all right, it would be at least around anywhere. And I actually go up 1 ounce just in case to be safe, because I know how they're nickel and diming people out there. Because, like I said, I've only had this happen maybe once or twice since I started this venture of mine, where the customer got upcharged. They messaged me, and of course I reciprocated and responded in kind and paid the difference, because that's good business. You know what I mean? That does fall on my shoulders. But it reaches a point where it's like, Jesus, man. I charge up to 5 ounces in a 7x5x1 box, which will run anywhere between $4.33 all the way up to $4.87. How are you telling me as the eBayer that, oh, you don't get discounts? Yes, I do, idiot. Sometimes there's no reasoning with people. It's not my place to tell people what to do, but if you're going to tell me what's inside my own sock drawer, what's inside my refrigerator, what's inside my work desk, the problem is you, not me. This is not narcissism. This is based on fact. And again, like I said, when I took out my phone, I started putting in a phantom order or a phantom listing on my eBay stores page. She didn't want to hear it. And you can see when the shipping discounts start to take place, I think those letters turn blue after a while, and you start to see everything shift and change. Don't tell me how eBay works. But that's the modern day post office for you. They're using older equipment. They're using older vehicles. They're trying to get these ugly, brand new electric vehicles to drive around, and deliver people's posted, envelopes and packages and all that stuff. Again, please forgive me because I'm aggravated talking about this. Modernize. Go digital like this. Cost me $20 on sale over at Walmart. My bathroom scale that I weigh myself on cost me about $40. How hard is this? It's amazing the ignorance and the arrogance of some people that they want to die on their hill. Sounds like the woman I was dating for the past year. You don't love me. You love your friends more. Not true. Simply not true. And look where we're at. It's very annoying, folks. Very annoying as an eBayer, as a content creator. It's just very frustrating, ladies and gentlemen. It really, really sucks. So I'm going to get on the computer and see what I can do for this customer. I'm trying my best, but I can see what the outcome is already. I'm going to end up having to refund this person, the cost of the card, and I'm going to be out $15. That's the ultimate outcome. But the person seems like a good sport, so if you're watching, my channel, or if you're a subscriber or, a customer of mine, if you are this particular customer, I deeply apologize for the inconvenience. I will do my best. But, it's just the way the postal system works today, it's completely broken. It's antiquated, and they really, really need to get with the times, man. And so I think that's what this is all about. And especially, I'm a union guy. I still carry my union card, even though I'm officially retired from my union in New York, under the circumstances that I'm retired. They are union. A kind of screwed up union. Why they surrendered their collective bargaining agreement to begin with in the first place, I have no idea. And they can actually get fined for striking, which I think is stupid. But the system is antiquated. It doesn't work anymore. Get with the times, USPS. And again, to my regular eBay customers, I deeply apologize. I'm going to have to start charging a little bit more. I was charging $1.29 just to be safe. I was able to get that down to 69 cents. But now this is 2 times in a week that this has happened. Again, the other jackass, the other yo-yo that immediately, did his feedback extortion because I didn't bow to his whims. eBay, of course, will protect that person, but won't protect the seller, of course. Despite my attempts of filing my claim and whatnot, but that's how it works. But this person seems to be reasonable and logical and understands the game, I would assume. So I'm going to do my best to resolve this, but unfortunately, I have a feeling that I'm going to be out $15. And the card will eventually arrive at its final destination, and I'll get screwed. This is one of the aspects about the sports card hobby, buying and selling, that really, really sucks. And thank God for those of you that are honest. I'm your host, the Carolina Collector. Have a fantastic day. I just might grab myself an ice cold beer.